Hi, welcome to Bonita's Kitchen and thank you for joining us. What I'm going to be making for you today is sweet and sour meatballs and steamed rice. And for those of you that's saying, wow, this is not a traditional Newfoundland dish, I have had so many requests from tons of viewers asking to make different foods from other cultures, of course. But I want to stick to my traditional Newfoundland dishes. But today we're going to do a viewer's choice, and each month I'm going to try to put in a viewer's choice and make it and show you how to do it on this program. So pretty much what I'm going to do right now is show you how I would make these sweet and sour meatballs and my steamed rice. And I got a little over a pound of lean ground beef. I'm just going to wash my hands here now. Okay, so I'm just going to put this to the side. So like I was saying, about a pound or more, it's totally up to you. I'm going to grate a few pinches of sea salt and the same with pepper. I love pepper, so for me I would like to use so much more, but within reason you just do 4 or 5 grates. And I'm going to be using a half a teaspoonful of garlic powder and the same with onion powder. Okay, so like I was saying, is onion powder and garlic powder. Don't use the salt because the onion salt or the garlic salt, because you got salt already added with your sea salt. So anyway, we'll get back to making these delicious meatballs. So I'm mixing the seasonings now into the lean ground beef. I'm not going to be adding anything else other than what I got there, because what I'm going to do next, I'm going to make these into very small portions, and we're going to be rolling them into flour, and then we're going to part fry them, and I'll show you how that's done. So before I get started forming our lean ground beef into meatballs, I'm going to put 2 cups of hot water into my saucepan, and I'm going to put about 5 grates of sea salt, and I'm going to start it boiling on the stove, because this is going to be for our rice, and what it is, 1 part rice, 2 part water. So that's 2 cups of water, 1 cup of rice. So I'm going to get this started to boil, and then we'll get back into making our meatballs. I got about half a cup of flour, so I'm just going to put this into a bowl, and I'm going to be making these meatballs just very tiny, because we want them bite size. Now if you want them to be a little bigger, you can, but you just continue on making this. There's a beautiful smell of garlic coming out from this bowl, and you can also add more spices if you like these to be spicier, but this is just the way that I make them, and I'm going to share it with you. Okay, so what I've got done so far, I've got a few of these made, and I'm going to be putting some oil in my pan, and I already got the pan turned on, so you just put maybe a tablespoonful of oil in there, and I'm going to mix around these meatballs just to coat them, equally coat them with flour, and then we'll put them into our pan. Okay, so let's get those meatballs put into this piping hot pan, and like I said, it's just coated with flour. I am going to put a little bit more pepper on there, and like I was saying before, that if you want to add more spices, you can, but if you want to make them just the way I'm doing it here, you would love them as well. They're very tasty, and as I go, I will explain each step. So what I'm going to be doing here now is grating over some more pepper. I'm not going to be putting any salt on them. And what we're going to be doing is just part frying these meatballs till they're golden brown on either side. And then I'll show you what we'll do next. Okay, so just keep turning them. And it smells absolutely delicious in here, you guys. I mean, again, I like to say that I scratch and sniff on my camera there so that on your computer so that you can smell this. It's delicious. But what I'm going to do now, I'm going to add my rice to the hot water so we can get that going, and it'll be completed about the same time. Okay, so we got 2 cups of water that's boiled, and we got salt put in there, about a few pinches or up into half a teaspoonful. We're going to stir this around till it gets all equally put into the water, and then I'm going to cover it, turn it down on a low heat, and let it start to steam. Okay, so these are coming along really nice. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to be removing these from the heat very shortly. I'm going to continue frying it on my other stove top because I want to make the sweet and sour sauce, and then I'll show you how that's done. But keep frying your meatballs. Okay, so we'll start making our sauce. We got a cup of water, and it don't have to be hot water, it could be cold. We got 1 cup of brown sugar. I'll be posting this recipe as well under this video. We got 4 tablespoonfuls of ketchup, and you can try to scoop all of it out there. And if you need more, you can use it. It's eyeball it. And I got half a cup of white vinegar. And we're going to stir this together. And we're going to be using just a little pinch of sea salt. So you let this boil until it starts to get a rolling gallop, and then I'll show you what else we're going to do. Okay, so these are done enough. Like I said, they're part cooked. You could cook them all through this way if you want to. But we're going to be putting these meatballs, after we've finished our sauce, into a 350-degree oven, preheated, for about a half an hour to 40 minutes until it's all cooked together. But what I'm going to do now, I'm going to add in the rest of my meatballs to get those done because I want all of them in there together. So we got 1 taken off, 1 going on, and then don't forget to check your rice. Stir it occasionally because you don't want for that to stick to the bottom of the pan. Okay, so I'm going to put a lid on this. So you'll need a pot with a lid for the meatballs. I'm going to take the lid off of my rice and I'm going to stir it. As you can see, look, it's coming along nice. We want to keep that steam locked in there because that's what's going to make your rice nice and fluffy. Okay, our sauce is coming along nice. As you can hear, our meatballs is also frying good and the rice is steaming. So what we're going to need now is 1 tablespoonful of cornstarch and just a little bit of water, maybe just maybe a couple of tablespoonfuls, that's all, just to mix this together. As you can see, it's just nice and runny. And I'm going to be putting this into our sauce. And just stir it in as such. So that's a tablespoonful of cornstarch. So we're going to let this continue boiling there. And then we'll go check on those meatballs. Okay, so what we're doing again is just getting this second batch of meatballs golden brown. And we don't want to overcrowd our pot, our saucepan, because, or our frying pan, I should say, because too much in there frying, you will notice that you won't get it nice and golden brown. So that's what this is coming along like. So this is what I'm going to do for this last stage of my rice. I'm going to add in a tablespoonful of butter. And that's optional if you don't like to add that in, but I find that it gives it a nice texture and it helps for each one of those rice not to stick together. So just put it in there like that, and it's nice. And just set it to the side, keep it warm until all of the other stuff is cooked. Okay, so these are nice as well. So what I'm going to do is put them as well in with the other ones in the dish that got a lid. Make sure, like I was saying, that you got your oven on 350 degrees ready for this to go into, because once we layer the sauce over the top, we want to put it into our oven, and then we're just moving along nice. Smells absolutely amazing in here. I'm going to thank the viewer that sent in this suggestion, and like I was saying at the beginning, we're going to try to put more of our viewers' choices. Again, it's not our traditional Newfoundland cuisine, but we do cook other meals as well, even though I promote mostly Newfoundland meals. So what I'm going to do now is put this into our container here now, so we can put it in the oven. Okay, so that's all of our meatballs put into this little roaster with a lid, and it's just a perfect size. So what I'm going to do now, our sauce is ready, and we're going to take it and pour it all over the top of those meatballs. Okay, so that's our sauce poured over the meatballs. So this looks absolutely delicious. Now in the oven, like you said, these are just about cooked. I'm saying a half an hour to 40 minutes, but if you fully cook them in your frying pan, then you'll only need to leave it in there for 15-20 minutes, just until it all incorporates together. So again, I'm going to cover it, put it into my oven, and then I'll meet you back here when they're done. Welcome back to Bonita's kitchen. Our sweet and sour meatballs are done. Our rice is done. Now I'm going to assemble it for you. We'll start with the rice. I'm just going to put this off to the side, and I'm just going to do it in scoops onto the plate. I'm going to put 2 nice helpings. Oh my, it smells absolutely delicious. So what we're going to do now, we're going to scoop up a nice helping of our sweet and sour meatballs. Just look how delicious does that look. I'm going to put a little bit of our culture on there, which is green peas. I mean, in every meal you can almost see that green peas is added, and some parsley flakes over the top. So this is what we got: sweet and sour meatballs with a side of steamed rice and green peas. So this is how easy it is to make your own homemade meals, and it's all quick, put together at the same time, and then you get to enjoy them. I hope you found this episode of Bonita's Kitchen for sweet and sour meatballs and steamed rice helpful for you today. Please continue sending in your suggestions and what you would like to see me make for you on Bonita's Kitchen. But keep in mind that most of my meals is traditional Newfoundland recipes. But I'll be more than honored to try to make other cultures for you as well, recipes from their cuisine. So there it is, the dish of the day. This ends our episode of sweet and sour meatballs and steamed rice today. And if you haven't already done so, please subscribe to Bonita's Kitchen. Just go to my YouTube channel, and up at the top right hand corner it'll show you a subscription prompt, and just follow what it said. And you can also visit me on www.bonitaskitchen.com, my Facebook page, and on Twitter. Once again, thank you for joining us for Bonita's Kitchen. From my kitchen to yours, you have a wonderful day.